Hello, guys, gals, and my non-binary pals. Welcome to The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve and your midweek political check-in. Broadcasting live on the Really American Media platform. We're slogging through another political swamp, thick with nonsense and bad intentions. Let's cut through the poo-poo and throw a little light on the chaos before it buries us all. Alrighty then, without further ado, here's Nick and Steve. Take it away, gentlemen.
Here we are.
Yes, happy Friday to Nick and Steve and everyone out there watching.
Yeah.
I'm checking in. Nice.
A lot of nice liberal cities checking in, right?
We made it. Wait, are we late? Hey, listen, this show starts when we started, okay?
It's 3:02, dude. Give us a break. My God.
Yeah. Listen, Nick and I were on the radio for like 30 years, and you had to start right on time. So we take a little advantage of the fact that, you know what, the show's not starting without us. So.
That's right. And we've got a great show for you today. I know you all saw the headline. You clicked on that thumbnail, and we've got some really. This is when I feel like the show has a chance to be serious all at the same time, but also like an Access Hollywood. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like I have, maybe both of us to some extent, but unfortunately me to a larger extent. I have a lot of experience with crazy women. I'm not going to name names, but reading through some of this Natalie Harp stuff today set off a little PTSD sort of feeling, you know?
I wondered about that, and I'm not lying, dude. I'm like, oh man, Steve got a little too close to some of this shit. Like, I trust you with some of the signs now. You may not have seen them at first, but now you're an expert, dude.
Yeah, I will say, like, I feel like I've learned some things in this world that in my 20s, 30s, and probably even like 4 years ago, I hadn't quite figured it out when it comes to the fairer sex. But,
yeah.
So yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Listen, we're going to get into the Natalie Harp stuff because yes, it's trending and going viral and all that. But then we do have other topics to touch on as always. And also, as always, if you want to reach out to us directly, thevocalminority.net. That would be our personal website. You can email us. That's pretty much all the website's there for.
Yeah. You can reach out, and Steve rolls through those diligently. To be honest, dude, I mean, Steve forwards them to me, but he's the one that you're going to hear from. So he does a good job.
And I like that some people are thinking that we somehow are, I don't know, I don't want to use the word expert, but people are sending us stuff like, is this true? Is this accurate? Should we do that? I'm like, yeah, here's my take on it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and we've been hearing surprisingly, dude. I mean, we've always heard from around the world, like around the whole globe. I mean, I can't think of a place that we haven't heard from.
Yeah, that's true.
But how closely they're following it. You know, other countries are really following this freaking dumpster fire and seem really engaged with it, which I appreciate. So
we're like reality TV for the rest of the world. You know, we're Jersey Shore. We're just the shenanigans going on over here. And yes, reach out to us, support all the shows here, support the dangerous ones who added to Really American a couple of months ago. Kenny's on vacation in Portugal, but he is chiming in. Of course, we got Chip on the channel. So, you know, all shenanigans, good things happening here.
Yes, indeed. So, let's get into our headline today.
Need to know news.
I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
News you need to know.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for it, Steve.
No, nobody does. Yet here we are. Okay, what's the shenanigans, you ask? Well, thank you, Ben Todd, Batman guy there. There's all sorts of shenanigans. I don't know. Hey, Nick, start us off with a brief summary, and then we will dissect these letters that we've heard clips from before because we've pulled little lines, but now we have the entire things, and they're even more psychotic.
Yes, this will set it up, but we've got all kinds of video we're going to play on this about things that she's done in the past that we may have forgotten about. And then there's also a lot of drama going on with John Ossoff right now as far as Natalie Harp goes. So we got a bunch of different video, but let's start out with this one just to kind of set
For the first time, some of the deeply personal letters written by President Donald Trump's close aide Natalie Harp are being published in full. The Daily Beast obtained 2 letters written by Harp back in 2023. I'm going to read some of what they say. The first one says, quote, I never want to bring you anything but joy. I'm sorry I lost my focus. You are all that matters to me. I don't want to ever let you down. Thank you for being my guardian and protector in this life. Another reads, please, when I fail, will you tell me? You have the absolute right to cuss me out if need be when I deserve it, because no one knows or cares about me more. Now, I think what's important to know about Harp is just how deep the connection between her and Trump runs. I'd remind people that she actually credits Trump with saving her life.
I was that forgotten person on the side of the road.
She has said that she had suffered from bone cancer, and it was legislation that was signed by President Donald Trump back in 2018 that allowed her to receive experimental treatments. I should note she has never listed what those treatments are, but she's also someone who is omnipresent in Trump's orbit. She's often with him throughout the day in many of his meetings, and then speaks with him late into the evening about social media posts. She also serves a specific purpose for Trump. She's someone who is a channel for foreign leaders who can reach out to her if they feel like they are unable to get in touch with the president. She's also someone Trump asks often to reach out to people that he watches on television and likes what they are saying. So they have a very deep connection. I will note the White House has said in multiple statements this week that she is a loyal and hardworking aide to the president, has been very defensive of her, but a lot of attention on Harp following those initial comments from the Democratic Senator John Ossoff earlier in the week.
AKA, she's a bunny burner, dude.
Bunny boiler.
Yes.
That's funny. I asked Kennedy last night, like, does anyone get that reference anymore? She's going to boil his bunny.
I would think so. I mean, yes, I know there's some younger people who wouldn't quite understand it, but most of the people watching the podcast would.
I was going to say, we got a little more mature audience out there. So, yeah, reference to Fatal Attraction back in the 80s, boiling the bunny rabbit. And I got to say, as we get into these letters in detail, you'll see it for yourself. But these, there's been a lot of insinuation. Maybe there's an affair happening here. These letters do not read that way.
What are you talking about?
As far as the affair goes, or they don't read like two lovers?
Well, read like one lover,
Yeah, but it doesn't read like someone who is in a relationship with someone. It reads like somebody who's a psycho stalker, not, girlfriend, boyfriend, the mistresses writing back and forth to each other.
I get the feeling, and when the chat can help us decide, but yeah, rabbits too. The chat can help us decide, dude, that when you hear some of these letters and what you wrote to them, I think there had to be a little bit of, I don't want to be crass, but a little bit happened behind closed doors for her to have her hopes up so high in these letters.
It's fair. It's fair. I mean, emotional affair, not a sexual relationship. It's fan letters. I do think it leans that way, but you're not wrong, Nick. There's a couple lines in here where I start to think like, ooh, that's based on some conversation these two had behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And it definitely reeks of daddy issues. You're right, Christy. And she is the narcissist supply. That is so true. We learned this week that she is a presidential groupie. Her brother was on CNN and acknowledged as much. And she was just waiting for the perfect narcissistic president to come along that she could just latch onto,
Well, and from the report we just watched, it's funny because we haven't really ever seen any evidence that Trump saved her life. So you would think that there would be evidence of that, but it seems like it was just her ticket into getting to be next to the president,
right? And I love this. It's kind of Eminem Stan vibes.
Yes.
Well, that's true right there, buddy.
Yes, it is, dude.
All right, so here is the first letter, and somebody in the White House clearly hates Natalie Harp because this thing got leaked in its entirety. I mean, that's the actual letter right there.
Right.
That she printed out and signed or something. So let's dissect it just a little bit, shall we?
Please.
She says, "Dear Mr. President, I'm sorry. I thought I was the only one left behind last night and had no idea Margot's car was also pulled over and sent back to the airport. Since I was alone in the van outside customs without my passport, I panicked and should have just called Secret Service instead of you." Now, first of all, no, don't bother the Secret Service. But she apparently called the president directly. Okay.
I wish you would have called the Secret Service. It'd be nice to have them a little preoccupied sometimes.
Right. By the way, the Secret Service did read these letters and then express concern, and they were correct to do that. So,
yeah.
She says, "I am also very sorry if I was an embarrassment walking the course in Scotland." And we do have confirmation of all that too. So let me see here. Here is her. So this is a picture that was taken back in the day. But nobody understood the significance of it. But there she is. Look at this parade of golf carts, and she is sprinting behind him.
Smile on her face, glad to do it.
Right. Because as she will acknowledge in these letters, she wanted to be close to him on the golf course.
Yeah.
And there we have, again, these are real life pictures that corroborate what she was talking about here. So there you go. She says the first day, I was told there was no carts, even though everyone else had one, and people walked, which is why I walked. The second day, I was specifically asked by, I forgot who his name was, but one of the main people who worked there, if I could continue walking. Probably some caddy goofing on her. Yeah, why don't you keep walking?
Yes.
And tell any other girls who would head out there to do the same to spare the course any more carts. Right. If there is anything else I have done to cause you trouble, please forgive me. I know that some people have said I haven't been texting them back, and there have been some international cell issues. John was having technical issues on the plane too, so he asked me to help him out. I want things to always be right between us. Read.
Yes, dude. Would you ever talk to your boss like that? Like, I always want things to be right. You could say that in a much more professional relationship way. Like, I always want to make sure the job's done.
Right. No, not with a boss. I don't even know I would say that to my girlfriend or my, wife, that I always want things to be right between us.
Yeah.
I also know I've been distracted all week, forgetting to eat throughout the days and even forgetting to sleep and only catching up a couple hours at a time.
Well, I know this is not going to come as any surprise from the fat guy, but like forgetting to eat, what's wrong? Like, how do you forget to eat? I understand being too busy to eat at times, but you got to have something cuckoo going on up here to forget a basic human function that keeps you alive.
Right. Forgetting to eat, forgetting to sleep. Sleep is not normally a voluntary thing. I mean, right. I know we all lay our heads down at some point, but you will just fall over. I mean, your eyes are going to get heavy. Look at her man crush and Donald Trump. He's proof positive that you will just fall asleep when you're that tired. So
this does scream a Lifetime movie, by the way.
Right. Well, I don't know that I can't wait to see how the story ends, because I think it might be with, Trump's head on a pike.
Yeah.
She says, I haven't been myself, dwelling on the past and the pain of losing my dad. Oh, daddy issues. You called it there. And I started letting the remarks of people who haven't bothered me before get to me, not because I care what others think, sure, but because I see myself being lowered in your eyes and good opinion.
Ooh, dude, that is something. I mean, this is really setting up for like, I'm okay being mentally, emotionally abused by you. Like,
Right.
I love you that much. You can mentally abuse me.
Exactly. I just don't want to be lowered in your eyes. Ugh.
Yeah.
That is the fear you see, because I never want to bring you anything but joy. I'm sorry I lost my focus. You are all that matters to me. There's the famous line we've heard before.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't want to ever let you down. Thank you for being my guardian and protector in this life. That's what I wanted to use this card for. When you saw me at the cash register, what were they at Walmart checking out? And once again, you did what you didn't have to do and gifted me with mementos of this trip of a lifetime, a coming of age. I will return a better person. I have to sign off now as the cars are leaving. See you soon. With all my heart, Natalie.
I have to sign off. The white coats are coming. I mean, God, dude, what is this? And where was she writing this letter?
Right? I mean, it sounds like an email or something. I mean, we have printed copies. I don't know, but it's freaking psycho. And is Trump reading it in real time that he would care or know if cars are leaving or signing off? Just write a letter. Hit send.
So I earlier in the week, after the first kind of love letters little stuff was released, saw a guy that claimed to go to college with Natalie Harp. He was like, I had a class with her, and the professor at one point, she said she has a strange relationship with older men. Like, she's always had that infatuation. Yeah. And she had it for the professor that these guys shared in a class. And he made the claim that the professor at one point asked her to print out his manuscript. He had written a manuscript. Oh. And she spent all night long, got a PDF file of it, spent all night long and wrote it in hand like this and gave it to him in the morning. and it was, hundreds of pages.
Wow.
And
So that's where this came from, you think? This
and the
printing off stuff?
yes, dude. The teacher was like, there are a thing called printers. Like, this is a little strange that you would just write all this out to me. So she
With
seems
Trump,
to have.
Did she use PDF or PDO files?
I don't know. I mean, I think you can answer that question, dude.
All right. The second letter. Let me just sort of breeze through this because honestly, this makes me feel slightly dirty reading these letters.
Yeah.
Not in a sexual way, in this woman's crazy sort of way.
Yeah.
So letter 2. And again, this is all from 2023. This is all in regards to this trip to Scotland they went on. So second letter. Dear Mr. President. Now, this is the note I wanted to write, but the apology needed to come first. Crazy. Ugh. I have learned so much about myself on this trip. I always knew coming home to my roots would be enlightening, but I had no idea how much. For the first time in I don't know how long, you forced me to unplug. We couldn't be out on the course with no machines and even forget what time it was. I didn't have to be human printer. Mm-hmm. Calls herself that. I thought this was some moniker that the media made up.
Me too. Yeah.
She says, I could take time to enjoy good conversation and still get all my work done at the end of the day. In fact, I even had time to take long morning and evening walks to enjoy each sunrise and sunset, though I did forget to eat and sleep.
Oh my gosh, dude.
With so much thinking time, I confess, it did have a slightly negative effect at times because my antidepressants wore off. That I know you picked up on, but the end result, I believe, will be worth it. I had no idea how rapidly I was approaching burnout and starting to envy those whose only job seems to be walking with you and looking pretty. I want that job.
Oh my God, dude, this is not appropriate on any level.
That is classic insecure girl. Who are these other girls to walk with you and just get to look pretty? I just want to look pretty and have that job.
She sounds manic,
Yes.
not that I'm a doctor, but I mean, just from my 50 years of life experience, she sounds manic.
Unbalanced, yes. So she continues, so many times I was just trying to stay afloat with all that's coming in for you. I look like a hunchback who didn't have time to freshen up. At least you know what I should look like. Plus, I miss the days when you used to call during my talk show days and we talk about everything and nothing. Okay, now that's what I was referencing earlier. That does sound like some sort of intimate relationship. This is starting to sound like the ex-girlfriend. Like they had something and now they've distanced, but she's holding on for those days.
Yeah. And when do we have times in our life to have conversations about nothing? It's usually when we're in love with that person, and like, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. We could read the phone book to each other and we'd be smitten,
Right. She continues, we shouldn't have to talk about work all the time. Double exclamation point, by the way. I've always felt like an in-betweener, somewhere between staff and those you enjoy talking to on the plane or at dinner, because that's who I used to be to you when I was a talk show host, as much as I hated that actual job. I wish I could hear every conversation because that's when you're having a good time, getting away from it all, at least for a few moments.
Yeah.
Crazy. Let me just wrap this up. But after going through all of this self-analysis, my conclusion, I need to reunite my past self with my current into a better version who will make you proud. And please, when I fail, will you tell me you have the absolute right to cuss me out, if need be, when I deserve it? There's a abuser, a good victim. Like, when I've asked for it, sir, you can cuss me out.
Exactly, dude. I mean, yeah, when I've asked for it, like, you can't cuss me out. I mean, we can have a conversation, but like, I'm not going to let you berate me. Like, she is nuts.
Yeah, she says, because no one knows or cares about me more than you, she's saying. Ugh.
Wow.
Thank you for always being there for me. I'll never forget when you made me that promise after losing my dad. Again, intimate moment. She lost her dad, and allegedly Trump said, I'll always be there for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a Lifetime movie, dude. And I mean, the way Trump sneaks into people, they always say like, guys that have bad intentions will know exactly the kind of girl they can manipulate and go in on and start grooming. And this sounds exactly like that to me.
Spot on. She wraps up with some other pleasantries, but she adds a P.S. Who adds PS, by the way, in a letter? You could have just gone back and put it in the letter, but okay.
Yes.
She adds, PS, my hands looked worse in Scotland and Ireland because the cold turns the old scars purple. Still on the road to recovery. And I believe, yes, there's what she's talking about. This is again from the trip. She's got these very subtle little purple scars on her hand, but felt so insecure about it that she had to point it out.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. I mean, I would assume that, she apparently had bone cancer. I would assume those are from the treatment of her, getting her chemo or whatever she had. But
Right.
yeah, to be so insecure about that, looking at Jabba the fucking Hutt and
Right.
feeling like you need to cover up those battle scars from beating cancer.
And
oof.
Trump, the guy with the ugliest bruised up, fugly hands going on right now. So
Yeah, maybe she was trying to, build a rapport.
Right.
Both of our hands look bad in Scotland. It's okay.
Now, on the topic of whether or not there is something intimate going on here, Michael Wolff, the biographer for Trump, who has been doing the Daily Beast podcast, he said that staffers used to say that Trump would pat her on the butt and that the staff joked that Trump was spanking Natalie again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So at a minimum, that's a very inappropriate boss thing to do, to pat her on the butt. But apparently the staff started joking that Trump was spanking Natalie again.
Yeah, unless you're playing for the Yankees, I mean, it's not really a profession you should be smacking ass. But East Maverick is right. Another weird thing is that she looks a lot like Ivanka. And I've seen this comparison made of, him saying on The View years ago that perhaps I'd be dating Ivanka if she wasn't my daughter.
Right.
And when you put them next to each other, they do look very similar.
Yes, there's something creepy going on here. Another note I want to point out, Melania finally made an appearance yesterday after almost a month of being out of sight. She opened it up by saying, like, I hear you all miss me, like I'm back.
Yeah, do you want to see that video?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, this is just weird and uncomfortable and so forced.
I heard you missed me. Here I am. Welcome to the White House. A warm welcome to our distinguished guests today.
Why are you there? Other than people are saying like, President Trump is stooping Natalie Harp.
She's exerting her dominance. Now, reporters noted Natalie Harp, who's, as we know, is glued to Trump's hip, nowhere to be seen before, during, or after that event. And Melania, according to other White House staffers, had said before that I will be nowhere around if that woman is there.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard. I didn't hear that.
Clearly, she has suspicions as well as to what's going on with the relationship.
Yeah. Yep, it's batshit crazy. And if you don't think it's just weird that all of this is happening, let me remind you of this video. If you think, oh, well, she probably is intelligent enough to be there. She has the right to hold the position.
Okay, some exclusive reporting here. Natalie Harp, Trump's top aide, dubbed the human printer by her colleagues, she worked at the White House without security clearance for an entire year. And she declined multiple times over that year to apply for the clearance normally obtained by White House staffers. That's according to two people familiar who I spoke with for this story. Now, after concerns grew amidst security officials, it was actually elevated to Trump himself, who had to intervene, according to one person I spoke with. Now, Harp, in recent months, she's filled out the forms to launch a formal federal background investigation, and she's received the clearance she should have had all along, according to one.
Why did she wait so long, dude? What was she trying to hide? I mean, he goes on to say, like, staffers, when they get in there, like, it's usually like the paperwork you fill out within the first day or two, that gets turned in. And
she's hiding something. And the word was that Trump sort of overrode the Secret Service of, like, give her the, permission. So
yeah.
Don't freaking know if she's got mental instability in her past, some Russian asset thing going on. Like, I have no idea, but there's something crazy happening there. And
Oh, and it was like you were saying that her brother, came out and, I think he was on CNN. He talked about it and he was like, this is no surprise, this is no surprise. She's used to glomming on to older Republican men and everything else. And he said, it is. I wish you would just get a grip on reality and come home.
He used the word obsessed. This shows that she is obsessed because The CNN anchor told him the story for the first time about her riding in the trunk to Trump's court appearance in New York City. And the brother laughed at first and then was like, I shouldn't be laughing. Like, this shows that she is obsessed with him. And that's a strong word.
Dude, would you answer me this for real and be honest with me?
Yeah.
If I was in a car full of people and we had somewhere to go and there was no room for you, at 50, would you ride in the trunk to come with me?
Fuck to the no. Listen, like, if you told me, right, Pearl Jam is waiting to do a meet and greet with you, and the only way you can get there is to ride in the trunk, then I'd be like, all right, put me in the trunk. But that actually is a good analogy because I am borderline obsessed with, Pearl Jam or Metallica.
Right.
Like, I have a fixation, they're stars to me. Yeah. So would I do it to meet a celebrity star that I've always adored? Yes, and that's why she did it.
It's a great comparison, dude. She just didn't want to be left behind so badly that she got in the trunk of a fucking car and they closed the lid of it and they drove, and then she got out and like brushed herself off. Like, just think about that.
Even worse though, Trump allowed that.
Yeah.
He didn't say like someone get her a taxi or an Uber, someone get a lift. Like, he was like, yeah, put her in the trunk, it's fine.
Put her in the trunk, she'll be fine.
It's illegal too, by the way. You can't ride around the trunk.
You can tell he really cares about her.
Oh God. The last thing I want to point out, and then we can move on from this psycho until she does boil his bunny. This is something, I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but I think especially for a woman, this is a bizarre thing. Okay. Now just see what you notice here in this little slideshow I've put together.
Okay.
And I'm trying to make it somewhat obvious with red arrows. Like,
how large her feet are? Is that what I'm looking at?
No. You notice anything consistent going on here?
No, she keeps wearing the nude heels.
She's wearing the same shoes in every picture that has been taken of her from head to toe.
Interesting.
Does she only have one pair of shoes? Are these the only ones she can walk in?
Or is it what Trump likes her in?
Yeah.
Did he make a comment on him one time? So, she's seeking that approval again.
That's a great question, actually. You're right. Because, yes, every picture, she's wearing the same nude shoes, too. You're right. Like, I don't know any woman that has one pair of shoes.
Yeah. No.
But, yeah, you're right. Trump probably said something. I mean, because, every picture, same shoes.
It's really interesting. Great shoes.
Remember that time you said you liked my shoes? Every time.
I mentioned earlier that John Ossoff mentioned Natalie Harp in a town hall recently here. He was on with Jen Psaki, and this came out of a clip.
While the sailors on the Lincoln fight his war, while he fruitlessly drains our munitions and oil reserves, the president sleeps through his meetings. He golfs and trades stocks. See, he doesn't want to do the job. He wants to build his ballroom and travel with Natalie on their apparently defenseless flying palace gifted by the Emir of Qatar.
I just want to start by asking you about Donald Trump's comments in a moment, of course, but obviously that speech you gave over the weekend, lots of people have questions about it. Why'd you decide to invoke Natalie Harp specifically in that speech?
Well, Jen, thank you for having me, and here's the point. We're in wartime. The commander-in-chief has mired us in this geopolitical disaster. People have lost their lives, our naval logistics are frayed. The global energy system is in crisis, and he retreats into this bubble of West Wing aides who are his security blanket to make him feel good about himself, to reassure him that he's doing a great job, to help him while he designs his new ballroom and he adorns the Oval Office in gold.
Isn't that something? I mean, that's exactly why she's there, because he needs somebody at all times to just be licking his sack,
Yes, absolutely. And Gabrielle brings up a great point, like Rubio shoes. Like, Trump famously bought shoes for all the staff. So either why didn't he buy her a pair of shoes, or are those the shoes?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. John Ossoff saying that Trump did get a chance to respond to him, and this is not Trump's best work.
John Ossoff said, you'd rather
travel with your aide, Natalie Harp, and build the ballroom than do your job as president. What is your response, John Ossoff?
You mean Pee Wee Herman? Pee Wee Herman lookalike? No, I would much rather do other things. We're building a great facility here. We're fixing a White House that hasn't been taken care of. You can look at this. This room was a disgraceful situation.
I don't get what he's talking about there. I mean, it was never disgraceful, obviously, but the whole fact that he calls John Ossoff Pee Wee Herman, and you remember the first time he said it, he misquoted. It was on the teleprompter, and he called him like Wee Perman or something like that. Like, he obviously didn't come up with it. But now
Herman is like buzz cut, pale skin. Like, I don't even know what the hell he's trying to say.
No, but then I saw today that John Ossoff had truthed one of his Truth Social posts, and Trump is now calling him Os-jerk-off. So is John Os jerk off?
Oh, stretching there.
Yeah,
he clearly feels threatened. And Ben Todd, I'm not sure what your point is here, but you're quoting Chris Cornell, so I'm going to put your comment up on the screen, and we'll let everyone dissect that.
All right.
Oh, there you go. Okay, moving on from this psycho before she comes after us.
Yeah, let's hope not.
What do you got?
Well, let's go somewhere else altogether, dude. Hold on here. Let me see. Oh, remember when Lindsey Graham died?
I do. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we heard that, now that we finally got that tyrant out of office the hard way, that his cousin or sister.
Easy to me. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah, but Darlene Graham was going to be put up to take his place, right?
Yes.
Darlene Graham is now out on the campaign trail talking to people, doing different things. Watch this clip.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Are Taiwan and the South China Sea national security issues for the United States, and if so, why or how?
I'm just going to be honest here. I'm not on national security. I'm not that informed on national security, but I do support the military.
Yeah, those are the kind of people, dude. I mean, that's nepotism at its finest in some way, right? That you have the same last name, so she's just going to take over for him. But at least Lindsey Graham knew how to be an asshat. She's just stupid.
You at least have to fake your way through that answer.
Yes.
I mean, on one level, hey, I appreciate it. You're like, hey, I'm not a politician. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, but no, that is a disqualifying answer. And Trump is in South Carolina today trying to do damage control because he wants his handpicked choice to get through. But
yeah,
good grief. I'm not really up on international stuff. Like, I'm sorry, senators have to deal with international stuff, including wars that we're in right now, aid packages for Ukraine or whoever else. Like, that is beyond disqualifying. But hey, way to say the quiet part way too loud.
Yeah, maybe she's doing us a favor, right? Just revealing herself right away. Here I am. I don't know shit.
Yes. And Cat Commander here, Hex's wife has been hanging out at the Pentagon and showing up at press briefings and all that kind of stuff. Like, what the hell is going on?
No,
from the people that were
know.
so like, Biden's got Hunter doing and like, and then everyone and their family and their mother and their brother is involved in this government.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like Pete Hegseth isn't enough. I don't know if you saw him getting she's not stupid. She's a sister of Lindsay. Okay. All right. Hey, listen, here's the thing. Hegseth, if his wife comes into this mix, we got to think about, now we got to double down on how hateful and idiotic this guy is. Listen to this speech as he's talking to a lot of soldiers and other people.
So as we reestablish deterrence, because Obama and Biden wouldn't, we also rebuild our military. And at the same time, we're restoring the warrior ethos inside our department because that matters. We need guys like this man right here having our back in Congress as we get rid of DEI at the Defense Department. At the Department of War, we do training, not trannies. It is a day and night difference. Training, lethality, account.
I can't do
Fuck
any more of
you.
it. But that was the main point of just like he's such a fucking asshole for no reason other than it gets the poorly educated and the hateful mongers all rounded up and clapping and celebrating
Yes.
him when he says stupid shit like that.
And he wrote that line down. You could tell him sort of ramping into it. And he thought it was so clever. It's so fucking hateful, prejudiced, old school, bigoted. And we know there are transgender people in the military. And just why are you punching down? You know, it's just disgraceful.
Can you imagine anything outside? If we had to keep DEI, the one place I would want to keep a diverse operation is our military. Like it just makes no sense that you wouldn't have DEI in our military. If people say, "Oh yeah, I'll defend the Constitution and I'll die for it." So yeah, but you don't want that person.
You want anyone who'll do that job. And by the way, I don't know if you did it on purpose going from one story to the next there, but Darlene Graham would be a textbook example of what they think DEI is.
Yes.
An unqualified woman who admitted she doesn't have the credentials to be this, but you're forcing her through anyways. Now, actual DEI is not putting unqualified people into a job. It's just taking, ethnicity and gender into account when all people are equal. But that would be their textbook scaremongering definition of DEI. Vote for Darlene Graham, who has no idea about international things.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, you bring up a good point. That's exactly right.
Freaking pathetic. Here's a good question. And then, vocal minority in the comments there chime in. We got some new polls out today about the 2028 matchup for Democrats. Well, Democrats versus some potential Republicans.
Okay.
Now we've floated a few names around here. We've talked about Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, Mark Kelly. We got AOC on the list, and so interesting results. A new poll from Emerson College in the Hill out yesterday found that Secretary of State Marco Rubio is outperforming Vice President J.D. Vance in potential 2028 Democratic matchups. So the poll of 1,000 likely voters found that among certain matchups, former Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg feared the best for being elected president against Vance and Rubio. Buttigieg. Wow. Interesting.
Love that.
Yeah, put a pin in that. Vance and Rubio were also pitted against leading Democratic nominee contenders like John Ossoff, Gavin Newsom, AOC, and former VP Kamala Harris. So Buttigieg topped Vance and Rubio by 5%, beating both 49-44. Ossoff scored the same 49-44 over Vance. However, it was closer for Rubio versus Ossoff. That was 47-44. Newsom beats Vance 49-44%, while he beats Rubio 48-46. Closer margin again. Okay. Harris beats Vance 49-45, but loses to Rubio 43-48. And AOC, meanwhile, was the only Democrat to lose to both potential matchups. And Mark Kelly nowhere on that theoretical polling, which is odd to me.
Yeah, that is odd. When we were talking about when Biden came in, I thought, he's probably going to do great with Mark Kelly. We've been talking about Mark Kelly for a long time. So to not have him on that list is surprising to me.
It is. And he's one of my sort of leading, contenders. Like, I am a fan of Newsom. I have been for a long time. I lived in California for a whole bunch of years, but I'm a fan of Mark Kelly. I'm a gigantic fan of Pete Buttigieg. I hate even having to say this. I just worry about, will rural America, upstate Pennsylvania, rural Wisconsin, are they going to vote for a gay guy? I don't know, and I hate that I even have to bring that up. But
yeah,
we just need someone who can win a national election. So, that's priority one. But Pete Buttigieg, what an all-star. I would just rather see him be a congressman, senator. Like, give it a few more years for the bigotry to fade, another few more. I don't know. But if we back him, trust me, I'll be all in on him because he is absolutely an all-star.
Yeah. No, you're right, 100%, dude. Yeah, it's just such a shitty thing to have to even worry about. But last election showed us that, we still have to worry about that. The election with Hillary Clinton showed us we still have to worry about those things. For some reason, the middle America doesn't seem to be ready to be all in on it. And you even hear the hateful people come out like, I don't have any problem with gays, but I wouldn't ever have one lead my country. You're like, okay, but Trump can lead your country. Right. And then with women, a lot of women came out and damaged that. We've always talked about the fact that if women would jump on each other's train, and that's not an innuendo, that everybody could be winning. All women could be ruling and winning this country and world, for crying out loud.
They're 51% of the population. Of all women voted the same, you guys could take over this whole freaking country. But I've learned in my adult life, no one hates women more than other women. Like there is some weird woman on woman hatred thing going on out there. So I don't know. But, and Ben Todd, are you reading my diary? Now you're quoting Uncle Ben? Quoted Chris Cornell, and you got Spider-Man going on.
This might be your new best friend, dude. Do I have to be worried? Is this your Natalie Harp?
Yeah, interesting.
Are you a stalker, Ben?
Just a fan.
Yeah, that's right.
Devoted.
Yeah, those are really interesting polls, dude. I don't know what they mean, if they mean anything. I don't know how I feel about polls anymore, but I'll take it for what it's worth. So
I will say real quick, new polls coming out of Michigan. El Sayed up over Rogers.
Yes.
I'm telling you, my fellow Michiganders back there, now that, El Sayed is their choice, they will rally around him. The early polls had Rogers beating El Sayed, and that's why a lot of Democratic establishment didn't want him to win. But now the spotlight is on him. They're seeing him more. They're hearing him talk. They're seeing a Trump clone in Rogers versus El Sayed. And he was up in 3 polls, 44-39 over Rogers. So fingers crossed. Smart move, to say the least.
Yeah. Have you you did a video earlier in the week about what happened in Dearborn? Yeah.
Which has gotten very little national media attention.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, I've seen it, but I haven't seen it running on networks like it should be, because when we first talked about it, I hadn't seen it yet. You told me, and you were like, it's basically a J6 Part 2 type of insurrection. It
really was. I mean, we had riot cops and people forcing their way in and out, and fights happening outside, cops getting shoved and beat up by the Back the Blue party out there.
Yeah, this is the Christian Crusader March, but this is just a little bit of footage that was happening in Dearborn, Grumpy Cat and others.
Dearborn has the largest population of Muslims in America. That's why all this is happening there.
Goes on and on, but does it not look familiar to you guys? I mean, it looks very reminiscent. Jake Lang, who is just a human piece of trash. Jake Lang, he is a terrorist.
It's the irony. They're claiming all these Muslims are terrorists. You guys are the terrorists. You showed up and terrorized a peaceful city by having this rally to just spew hatred towards Sharia law in Dearborn, Michigan. There is no fucking Sharia law happening.
No.
You're just being overtly discriminatory. But Jake Lang's getting, famous off of it in that world. And on one level, I hate to cover him, but sunlight is the best disinfectant. This is Trump emboldening all of this. This all has to be reported and covered.
Yeah. And it's nice to see someone stand up to a person like Jake Lang, which this guy did here in Dearborn.
This is a Christian land. Christ is king.
I just want to start out by saying the measure of a man isn't how loud he can shout, especially when he's shouting out nonsense, because even a donkey can shout really loud, but at the end of the day, he's still just a donkey. Jake Lang loves to wear Temu armor without any plates in him to pretend that he's a soldier when he never served in the United States military. Since Jake Lang loves Dearborn so much, I challenge him to face me in the ring in 90 days right here in Dearborn, Michigan, where we can sell tickets that will benefit the city of Dearborn. And if he wants to put hands on a Muslim, let him do it to me, a white, red-blooded American Muslim. That's all I got to say. Jake Lang, I know you can hear me, and if you can't, I know you'll see my video because you follow me.
Yeah. And of course, he will have nothing to do with that. Jake Lang will never step up and do that.
No, of course not. There were people that were out.
That's where I'm from, everyone. Nice.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you've got another fan, Steve, that lives in your mitten state.
Not there anymore.
Yeah. There were people out there that did cover this on the ground, independent journalists. I just got a couple that I want to play for you. This first one lets you know, this is all about Jesus Christ as King and, Christian nationalism. But I thought this was just so apropos to what was happening.
Okay, so why did you come today?
Just hanging out, supporting Christians.
Yeah, are you a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
So do you typically go to towns that voted for Donald Trump by 6 points to stand with the flag, or
nope, first
just
time.
Dearborn?
First time.
So do you know that the town of Dearborn voted for Trump by 6 points?
That's cool.
So what's the point of being here?
What's the point?
Yeah.
Supporting all the Christians being here. It's a
Christian, what kind of Christian are you? Like evangelical, Mormon, Catholic, or just...
I'm not that smart about it. I just follow Jesus, and I'm not okay with the Personification of America.
You said you don't know what denomination you are, so does that mean you weren't raised religious? It's something you found later in life?
No, just all I know is taught to follow Jesus, and he's my Lord and Savior.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not one of them people that are, whatever you said, multiple kinds of Christians. I'm not that smart.
Okay.
I'm not the kind that read the Bible.
I love the part that, I live my life by this, supposedly, but I don't know what all those things you're talking about are.
Right. That is hilarious. And I am so sick because there were some other, freaking Midwest moms out there saying, like, we're just here to support Jesus because this is a Christian nation.
Yeah.
For the fucking love of God, pun intended, it is not a Christian nation. No. It is a nation with freedom of religion and freedom from religion for some of us that don't want to be part of any of your little fairy tale books.
Yeah, and that's what we're lucky to have James Tallarico going out and explaining it as someone who follows Christianity and has since he was a kid with, pastor as a father or a grandfather. I can't quite remember, but he goes and talks about this is not the way any Christian would ever talk to anyone who did or didn't believe. Like, this is fake shit, and it's exactly what it is. It's theatrical. It gets people's blood going, and you're just poorly educated. Sorry.
Yes.
It's true.
There was one guy, and you can see it in the video I did a couple of days ago, but he's called something like the Bearded Patriot. He's conservative, but according to my research, he'll occasionally knock on the Republican side of things, but he's conservative. And he said, local news interviewed him, and, he said, I was invited here through this white nationalist bullshit party thing they were throwing. And he said, I got to be honest with you. Everyone here has treated me very well. I don't see what the problem here is. And the Bible teaches me to love thy neighbor. So I'm not even sure what we're doing here.
Well, good, dude. I mean, yes. Yeah, that just blows my mind because there was a lot of other people there that did not, have the reasoning skills of that guy who,
Exactly. And yes, Sylvia, no one should force their beliefs on others. You can have your beliefs. Just don't use them. Don't push them on me, and don't use them to legislate shit.
Yes. Don't legislate shit, and don't pretend to be a constitutionalist and then rip my constitutional rights away from me because you don't like them, which brings me to my next story, Steve.
Yes.
You don't know and love, but you know who Dan Patrick is, right?
From Sports Center or whatever?
No, this is the Lieutenant Governor, Dan Patrick. Okay.
Isn't there a Dan Patrick on Sports Center?
Yeah. No, you're not completely wrong. Okay. He held a press conference on Wednesday announcing this.
These are books that are so disgusting, so filthy, so dirty, so vulgar, so pornographic that for the ladies here, I wouldn't even open it and show you. I wouldn't show my wife. I didn't show the female senators last session. I had the books to hand out. We passed the bill, but I did it without, if someone wanted to take the book for themselves, and I'm going to give you a copy, everyone here. You can decide not to look at it, or you can. And if you're offended, understand these books are on our library shelves. Many books are on our library shelves in all of our schools. Over 2,000 titles of filthy, dirty, vulgar books.
Okay, well, don't get me excited, Mr. Patrick.
The biggest problem with kids nowadays, we need to stop them from reading. They're
Yes,
just always
right.
running in libraries like, let me read everything in here.
Right. He displayed
What
several
book is he talking
books.
about?
What's that?
What book is he referring to?
Okay, he displayed several, but the example that he was giving in that clip was a book called Let's Talk About It, The Teen's Guide to Sex, Relationships, and Being a Human, which, God forbid, we're educated on fucking dangerous shit like having sex and not knowing much about it, or your bodies and relationships. Like, God forbid, I've never understood. At some point in your life, no matter how you try to suppress it, most people will become sexually active, right? And it happens a lot younger now than maybe ever before. So yeah, to be educated on it, I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a positive and not a negative. But people like this want to get books out of school libraries. Like, you can't go on the internet and fucking find all this shit anyway. Like, stop it already.
I mean, compared to what you can find on the internet, good grief.
Yes.
Please. I hope my kid reads a 300-page book to find some dirty text in there or something.
Totally.
But, a book about relationships and even sexual activity like that. Nothing is wrong or immoral or anything else about it.
It's human. Let's just get to it. The other books that he was pushing that he wanted to get rid of were Boy Toy, which I've never read it, but Crank, Push.
Boy Toy.
You've been a Boy Toy.
Yes.
The other titles he identifies include The Handmaid's Tale and The Color Purple and The Kite Runner. Can you imagine, dude, that he wants to get rid of these books because they educate on some level about our history and give people something to look at as far as education and kind of learn about things.
Well, I mean, The Handmaid's Tale, they don't want them to understand maybe that's what the mega base is trying to implement on all of us. And
totally.
The Color Purple, what the hell? Like, I mean, and listen, I mean, Mark Twain, classic author. There's some, N words dropped in that book, and but this is literature. Like, I'm telling you, it's not a problem. The kids are just hoarding books late at night with a flashlight and reading dirty things. They're on their tablets, phones, and anything else, looking at things that no kid should be exposed to.
Right. Yeah. If you think that, here's this guy. This guy's called Mike Caruso. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
67 years old. He's a Republican and former Florida state representative. He served Florida in the House from 2018 to 2025. And here's a picture of him with Trump. Florida Republican Mike Caruso, who advocated for the death penalty for pedophiles, has been arrested for sexually abusing and molesting his own grandson.
Oh, boy. I think you just got us kicked off YouTube with 7 of those words, but okay.
Oh, I did?
Well, those are words they frown on here. But so he was doing pedo activities. Well, whatever.
Everyone's trying to ban us for language, dude. It's not America. Come on.
I know. It's far in the show. It's funny. YouTube actually loosens the rules the farther into a video you are. Like
good.
The first 2 minutes, don't say anything weird. But after that, yeah. It's funny. I was watching a police body cam video footage this week because I love those things.
Yeah.
And there was this guy in his garage that had Let's Go Brandon flags and Trump. And I'm like, let's see what this idiot has done. And it was exactly that. He was at the dentist office and they spotted a picture of a small person.
Yeah.
And so the cops showed up there and they took his phone. He gave it to him. You want to look? Go ahead. And they took him about 30 seconds. Like, yeah, it's this image right here. I mean, they put him in handcuffs and took him away. Like,
wow.
This is the party of the Epstein files for sure.
Yeah. And it is the party of hypocrisy. I mean,
absolutely.
So, yeah, there's another one for you. Do you want to talk about we always talk about making retractions or corrections on the show. Like if we get something wrong, we find, it's really important to correct that shit, right?
Sure. Yeah. What do we do?
We didn't do anything, but Fox News, who never used to retract shit, but have since landed themselves in quite a few lawsuits. They have started retracting shit, 24 or 48 hours later after they've rang the bell. This is Fox News correction I saw.
Before I toss back to you, yesterday we aired a graphic that showed gas prices incorrectly last year were $4.13 a gallon. They are in fact $3.13 a gallon. That's 90 cents more in the past year. The Trump administration says those gas prices will fall quickly once the operations in Iran ends. Now back to you.
That for a long time. I mean, even in the retraction, he gets it wrong again. Like, come on, dude.
They have a hard time not spewing bullshit and lies. So, yeah.
Yes. Added $1 to it just to make Biden look worse.
Yes, spot on. You want to make Trump look worse real quick here?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not in a hurry to go anywhere, but I saw this story pop up, and it just is freaking disgusting to me. The family of a war hero named Doris Miller was shocked to hear about a plan to name a U.S. aircraft carrier after him has been, or maybe, this is the word, scrapped in favor of naming it after who, Nick? Who would they possibly scrap a black war hero from and name an aircraft carrier after instead?
Have to be DJT, right?
Yes, that is correct. Let me just play you this, and then I have a little more context.
I'm joined now by Doris Miller's great nephew, Thomas Bledsoe. Thomas, thank you so much for being here. I know you and the rest of the family were not notified about this. So tell me, how did you react when you first heard that the future USS Doris Miller might be renamed and potentially after President Trump?
So for our family, it was quite a shock to hear that was conversation about the possibility of renaming the Doris Miller carrier. And so not only was it a shock, but it was also a shock that we found out from a news outlet comparably from the Navy. And so it caused a lot of concerns and uncertainty. And so for us, it immediately became a family group conversation about what is happening, what does it mean, because in January 2020 was a big day for us when we went to the naming ceremony and got the opportunity to see what was happening, and then to see Doris Miller get recognition in such a great way as we continue to fight for him to get recognition for the Congressional Medal of Honor as well.
This wasn't just any ship naming, as you've talked about. I mean, it was set to be the first aircraft carrier named for a Black American and an enlisted sailor.
Got to stop that right away, dude. We can't let that one sneak through. Jeez.
So to give you a little more context, Miller became the first black service member to be awarded the Navy Cross for his actions on December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor. Miller was a cook, but he manned an anti-aircraft gun and saved wounded fellow servicemen when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor.
Wow.
And back in 2020, Trump announced that the USS Doris Miller was going to be the name of this new aircraft carrier. And he also joked about his own name being used on an aircraft carrier, saying, quote, "They won't give me that honor. That's a big boat, a big ship. One day, maybe," he said back in 2020. And now all of a sudden, reports are coming in that, you know what? Maybe we're not going to honor that war hero. Let's slap Captain Bone Spurs, who dodged the draft. Let's slap his name on there.
Yeah. Well, how fucking pitiful, dude. I mean,
right?
It is so crazy. I mean, for so many different reasons, but the fact that he wants to put his name on a boat, like, okay, do it, I suppose, but don't take a hero's name off of a boat, you fucking asshole.
He's already got an airport and some other random things, but no, he wants an aircraft carrier. I mean, talk about just exposing what a little dick you have and how inferior you feel to men that have, put their lives on the line. So,
yes,
we'll see if it really comes to fruition, but that's the word. As always, get vocal about it, and maybe they'll pull back because they don't like public embarrassments.
Yes, that is 100% true. We've seen that as people continue to get vocal about different topics, and, we can make a difference. We've already seen that. Let me tell you this, dude. I'll show you a clip from Toe Rogan. Okay. This is funny. You've heard this story that Trump has started this whole thing where, if you pay $100,000, that he will tell you his true social post before he posts them so you can go make money on the stock market. Right.
Right. Because these are market moving tweets often. Yes.
And they, they've noted that they just passed this whole, what was the bill called? where you insider trading bill, but the only ones who were exempt for it was Donald Trump and his kids. So now they've got this thing where $100,000 will get you early access to his truth post. Another guy who got President Trump elected, Bro Rogan, having a conversation with others on his podcast about the fact that this is happening.
Isn't he selling his Truth Social tweets to people and then they can bet on it?
What?
I think, yeah.
Well, he can bet on
he's
anything
selling access.
selling access.
He's selling faster access to his tweets, and then you can bet on it.
Bet on what his tweets
on
will
the
be?
Markets. Because
wait a minute,
it's literally insider trading.
It's Kashi that you
Maybe
can bet
I'm
on
wrong,
everything you can fix.
Yeah.
Wait a
You
minute,
fix your
is
own
that
bets.
real? You get access to a tweet before he makes it, and then you could bet on that tweet. How's that legal?
He doesn't know. We'll see.
Wait a minute, what is this? Trump sued over Truth Social advance access sale.
And I'm online in the Oval Office.
Who's
It's so
telling
fit.
him this is a good idea? I feel like I need
Nobody's
to be closer
telling him
to
shit.
$1,000 contracts.
Yeah, it's $100,000 you can get his early
Yo,
tweets.
you know how crazy that is? $100,000 to get early tweets.
He bet 200 on
That's
it.
literally
Yeah, it must
crazy.
piss you off so much when he tweets like
Truth Social's
the guy
parent
from Twilight's
company,
a bitch.
Trump Media, announced in July it would offer subscribers to Truth API who paid up to $100,000 each month. Oh my God! Not even just $100,000 a year, each
Patreon?
month
He's rigging it
for
in.
early access to market-moving posts from Trump and other people who use the platform.
Market moving.
You imagine you charge $1.2 million a year? He's just on a grab.
Oh yeah.
And to get there, it's just people who are like,
But
yeah,
who?
we'll profit off that.
I just want to be in the meeting where they go, "I got an idea."
And everyone looks at each other and is like,
Let's
should
do
we
it.
tell them no?
They go, look, everyone hates us anyway.
$100,000.
Fuck it.
I bet it wasn't even Trump. It was probably some weasel who works in the administration. It's like, charge them $100,000 a month, and you post things, and they can move the market.
Yikes!
You did this, asshole. You did this. Take some accountability. Remember, we were talking about people like Andrew Schultz and Theo Vaughn and all these asshats who got this guy elected, apologizing and saying they were wrong. You got to do it when it comes to this shit, too. Like, God, I can't believe I've let this in. This is what I let through the gates. Like, again, I'm so sorry. And then fight to change it.
Yes, there's so much wrong with that clip because, okay, first of all, Joe Rogan and all these pod bros, they feel like they're not the media. Yeah, there's dudes sitting around talking. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan is as mainstream media as it can come nowadays. He has the most popular, most downloaded podcast in America. He gets more monthly listeners, viewers, and downloads than network news do.
Yeah.
So he is the media. And the fact that fucking Shane Gillis has taken a break from beer commercials to notify the host of the show, like, have you heard about this impeachable thing that's going on, this insider trade? And Joe Rogan's like, what are you talking about? I do the news for a living, and I have no idea what you're talking about. And the story's been out for like 2 weeks, and I have no idea. And he had to fact check it. He's like, that can't be real. I'm reading, oh, wow, like this is, how could he get away with it?
It's just crazy. It's so irresponsible, dude. It's so irresponsible.
Dude, the National Review, which is the preeminent conservative magazine going back to the 1950s, 2 weeks ago, called for Trump to be impeached if this thing becomes a real thing, which it seems to be. And the National Review sided with like Elizabeth Warren and Chuck Schumer and people saying like, this cannot happen. We have to pass a law immediately banning this. Like, you're selling public information that the government is supposed to release to everyone at the same time.
Right.
Jobs numbers or investments we're doing, aid we're sending, like it's beyond corrupt. So I guess I'm glad that Joe Rogan there could in real time see that that's not okay. But dude, do you not read the paper? You have no idea that was going on.
Seriously. I mean, it was a huge story. Like, and like you said, it'd been a couple of weeks. Like, come on, dude. You haven't got on this yet. But you don't give equal time to your gaffes on your show where you then take this and be like, oh, this is shitty, dude. Listen to this. You used to say like, oh, I'll talk to anyone. We'll have any conversation. I'm not partisan. But those days, if they were ever there, are long gone.
Yes. That's a sad statement, Steve, about Rogan. What? I mean, he is the mainstream media. Is that what you're talking about? Because
It is a sad statement. I don't think he's disagreeing with you. I just think, that's sad, dude. That's what, young men, especially, that is the demographic, are being brought up on. And it explains why young men got Trump into the White House. And it explains why they're such fucking idiots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not all of you.
Shane Gillis is on a show called Tires on Netflix right now, which I'm enjoying. I'm on season 2 of it. But there's another comedian on there named Stavros, and I can't remember how to pronounce his last name, but Stavros was on the New York Times podcast last week, and he said that a bunch of comedians that I'm friends with are getting a pass, that they're comedians, so they can just pass along misinformation and get facts wrong. And he was like, I really think we need to put an end to that.
Yeah.
Because he understands how many listeners and followers they have. You're not just dudes sitting around talking. Your words have weight.
Whatever you think of people like Shane Gillis or Stavros, these are people that have this inside world to all these bros, and the bros still like them, and they are willing to stand up and say, like, what are you guys, fucking stupid? Like, this isn't right. None of this is right. So we need to keep them in their space and let them keep talking about, like, this is crazy shit.
Yes. No, absolutely. So fun stuff there.
Yep. All right. Well, you want one more little BSN reporting video?
I'm not in a hurry, so sure. What do you got?
This is a new network, the BSN network. I think it stands for the bullshit network. It's like an onion type thing. But this is a report I saw there that I found really interesting.
Quiet. Who are you with? Fake news.
Your question.
You're a loud, boisterous person. You're fake news.
I was trying to find out if you had.
The White House insists U.S. forces have plenty of ammunition, despite reports that stocks of key long-range weapons have been virtually exhausted. On the ground, troops appear to be getting creative.
No, not the couch.
Hard-hitting reporter, BSN network. So.
It's a pretty realistic depiction of them all, quite frankly.
Right? Yeah.
Oh, America, what have we done? Seriously, what the fuck have we done?
I don't know, dude. I don't know, but we are getting closer to November, and it's going to be here before we know it. So we got to keep getting vocal. I swear that the people that listen to this podcast and pass this podcast around, like, I know, because I feel the same way sometimes. Like, I just feel helpless, like there's nothing I can do, like I'm just along for the ride and I'm talking about it. But because I have access to information and I consume it so frequently, I do see small moves with the needle that you guys make, like, when everyone steps up and gets vocal. So it is working. We'd like to see it work faster, but it's working, dude.
It's the pro and con of having a narcissist as the president. Like, he's going to want to put his name and face on everything, only thinks about himself. But because of that, he is susceptible to public pressure. We've seen it before. So, none of us should assume that getting vocal, sharing this kind of content does no good, because it does. And the elections are coming up, and there's all sorts of writing on the wall out there that this thing may not only be a blue wave, but a blue fucking tsunami. But that is only going to happen if we all follow through, stay mad, keep talking to everyone in your friend circle, and you better fucking vote blue no matter who. And I know some people have said, like, Democrats, you always this vote blue thing. Like, God damn it, people. We've been through our primaries. Like, the choices that are out there are the only rebuttal we have, the only rebuke we have to take some level of power back. So if they have a D next to their name, vote for them. Don't care if they're progressive, center, or whatever the hell it is. Vote fucking blue.
Yeah, got to do it. I mean, it's the only option right now. My MAGA brother left, and, I was like, oh, he's still full on MAGA. I had hopes of that starting to dwindle and stuff, but seems to still be on that train. And he called me today. We were talking for a few minutes, and he was like, you know what? I realized when I got home. I said, what? He said, the things that you talk about that are important to you and you care about passionately. And then I think about some of the stuff that I care about passionately. Like, I just want to take a fucking shower. I want to take a shower. And I was like, oh, well, that's a great feeling, dude. Scrub it away. Like, we're in a locker room. Like, it's all clean here, dude. Get rid of it. What you're going through on that MAGA side, if you step back from it and are with somebody talking and having these conversations. Like, yeah, it's right for you to feel fucking dirty and want to shower. A lot of this shit that he doesn't hear, that's not broadcast on Fox. It's not broadcast on the other fucking idiot news sites. So yeah, this is a great example of saying, like, yeah, that's some of this stuff is really disgusting, man.
Yeah. Well, we're going to send a blue wave towards your brother and everyone else so he can shower in that. Wash the Vega off.
Shower in it. Thanks for listening to the podcast today. We'll do another one on Tuesday. We give you 2 each and every week. So
yes, we will be back. In the meantime, if you go to thevocalminority.net, you can email Nick and I directly. And share all the content on the Really American platform and any of the other progressive podcasters and hosts out there. Please.
Thanks, Steve.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Steve.
And we'd like to keep going for another hour, but we do have some things to do. So
yeah. We got to get to the weekend, dude. Enjoy, touch a little grass, and get recharged for the next week. And we'll be back on Tuesday. Take care, everybody.
And that'll do it for another edition of The Vocal Minority with Nick and Steve. Thanks for joining us on the Really American Media platform. Check out all our social media wherever good social media is found. Until next time, you tiny little bastards, good day.
Good day.
And we say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.